Honorable Minister of Handlooms and Textiles, Government of Tamil Nadu, Principal Secretary, Handloom and Textiles, and captains of industry present, sitting on the dais and present in front. First of all, I would like to thank CII and the organizer of this Global Investor Meet 2015 for giving me this opportunity to be amongst you. Before I start this presentation, I'll take 1 minute, with the permission of the chair, to express my personal view on the state and to answer some of your, there must be some questions in your mind that why I am here. I come from Punjab, worked in 6 states, put textile investments as a professional working with 3 major groups in India, in 6 states in India, starting from Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and of course, state of Tamil Nadu. I put up the first plant for Vardhman Group in the year 2002 in Purandarai in Sipcot. So that is why I am very pleased to be part of this august gathering. And I have been to Tamil Nadu since 1987 because as part of Vardhman Group, we were one of the largest buyers from LMW. And also, I would like to remind everyone and myself of Dr. GKD, whose book was part of my curriculum when I joined Vardhman as a management trainee. We were made to read and discuss the book. And to let you know, and everybody would know this, Dr. GVD was the founder of LMW, because of which we all are discussing this textile hub as Tamil Nadu. That was number 1. Number 2, today morning when I got up and read a newspaper about Tamil Nadu Global Investment Meet 2015, what I was really impressed was the comment made by Honorable Chief Minister yesterday. Somebody asked her, Tamil Nadu is already industrialized state. There is so much of investment in Tamil Nadu. Why do you need to have this investor conference in 2015? And the reply was really flabbergasting. She said, I do not want to live on past glories or the past laurels. We have long way to cover and we have to go a long, long way. I mean, that was really inspiring for me, and that really made me all the more enthusiastic to be part of this conclave. Now, my work has been made very easy by my senior colleague who spoke just before me. Tamil Nadu has all the ingredients. Just to give you a brief idea, to make the context, we divide this 7 minutes in 3 situations. First, what is the future scenario of Indian weaving industry, advantage Tamil Nadu, and tapping potential and next steps. This gives you briefly where Indian textile industry is moving. I mean, I need not elaborate on this because captains of industry are sitting here, and speaking anything in front of them and giving these figures would be something which I would not like to do. Indian textile industry by 2020, thank God my figures are up to 2020, not 2025, so there can be little difference. So 2020, we foresee that Indian textile and clothing sector would be of the size of $243 billion US, which today is 115 billion US dollars. So therefore, a growth which is going to be substantial CAGR. Then, next is, where are we going on the weaving sector? I mean, looking at this, we find that the percentage growth for knits would be more, no doubt about it. Because what I find is the base is little smaller than the woven industry. So that is why the CAGR of knit is estimated at about 6% up to 2020. And the woven is 5%, though the volume would be more in woven. So now, up to 2020, it is estimated that the cotton sector, the cotton as a fiber and the cotton fabric would grow little faster than the other. No doubt, the Government of India and various state governments are focusing on technical textiles, man-made fibers, and others. In this slide, you would see, sorry. Oh. Can anybody help me on this? Here, sorry. So, in this we see, we have technical textiles, woven fashion, sportswear, which is going towards the man-made fiber, and home textiles, yarn-dyed shirting, and denim, which is contributing towards the weaving sector. So, in all, if we look at, there will be a CAGR of cotton woven fabric of almost 6%. Now, the question is, how do we get this woven fabric? And today, our estimate is that 80% of the production comes from power loom, 15 comes from handloom, and only 5% comes from, I would say, shuttleless or high technology looms, which is going to grow, which we envisage in 2019-20, it should be almost 12%. We have to do that. Otherwise, it would be difficult for us to sort of compete in the world market. Now the question is, why is weaving right target for Tamil Nadu? Now there are advantages. As we have already said, availability of good quality of yarn. See, as it is evident, 46 to 47% of the spindlage, installed spindlage in India, is present in Tamil Nadu, thanks again to LMW. And the finest of the yarns, it is a lifetime experience for me when I saw 300 singles yarn being spun in Tamil Nadu. I was not able to see the yarn. 300 yarns spun in Tamil Nadu is something which I am proud of as an Indian. And this is exported to Europe, Japan. So availability of yarn is enormous in the state of Tamil Nadu. If you look at the figures, I saw a website of Tamil Nadu government on textiles, on a sectoral website. There, it shows about 6 to 7% of the loom capacity of India. I'm talking of organized loom or the shuttleless looms, is present only in Tamil Nadu. Why? And I saw on that website major groups, they named on the website groups like Welspun, Vardhman, and so many others. Why they are not present, or such groups, big weaving sectors are not there? We have yarn, we have geographical advantage. We are near the port. Mr. Sanjay just was saying that we have 3 ports, major ports, and 7 minor ports. We have road infrastructure. We have everything, and we are at the garmenting hub. For anybody from Madhya Pradesh or from Maharashtra to reach Sri Lanka, and from Chennai to reach Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka is a garmenting hub for woven sector. It has all advantage. Logistically, Tamil Nadu is the most advanced state what I have seen so far in my little experience of 28 years. Then availability of skill set. Everybody is emphasizing on skill set. We do have skill set. We have the institutes. We have everything available to go to the next level of value addition in a woven sector. Now, then upcoming clusters. I saw there are about 10 clusters or 10 clusters in ITB put together, which have been sanctioned by Government of Tamil Nadu. Now, I know of 2 or 3. For example, there was a processing cluster which is to be there in Kudulur, and some other high-tech weaving parks in Theni. So all these facilities are there provided by the Government of Tamil Nadu. So all ingredients are there. We have to make a recipe for a weaving sector to grow in this state. No, these were the few things which I could think of that why I should be saying that weaving should grow in Tamil Nadu. Now there are certain things which I say that with the government and private partnership, we should carry this forward. First, favorable governmental policies. I mean, I would say no industry would put industry only for incentives. I don't talk of incentives, but I say favorable and conducive environment for an industry, which I find from the last presentation, and I know otherwise as well, that in Tamil Nadu, we have that. There are state policies, policies from the state of, I have gone through the policies from Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. The point is, they all have policies. I was talking to Mr. Harmander Singh. There are policies, they are on paper, everything is there. But what actually is dispersed? What actually the government? I worked in Andhra Pradesh, where in the company I worked, we had a subsidy backlog of 90 crores. Please understand, 90 crore, if a company has 90 crore of backlog with subsidy from a state government, what are the cash flows? So the point here is, it should be a proper policy with a proper budget allocation that the government should look at. Then availability of power. In the past, we used to hear about 3 years, 4 years ago, that the mills in Tamil Nadu are closing because of availability of power is not there. But I think the situation has changed, and also the government is also working on this to bring in a change in that. Skill development. As I said, this is something which I put, skill is there. Then I studied the institute in Coimbatore or around areas. Major emphasis is still laid on spinning. I think we should upgrade these institutes going towards the shuttleless loom or the weaving sector. Knitting is very good. So let us bring out some skill set which is required specifically for the weaving sector. Then encouragement of Make in India for weaving machines. Can we create a second LMW in weaving? Sorry, sir, if don't feel offended on this. Huh? Can we have something like what LMW has contributed to the spinning industry, not only of Tamil Nadu or of India, I would say the world? Can we have that? We should encourage this technology to come in from abroad. Today, the weaving technologies are either in Europe or in Japan. Why can't we have in Tamil Nadu? Of course, it is not only the technology, we have to have the volumes. So Tamil Nadu could be a good place where these machines built in Tamil Nadu with the technology may be imported. We need not reinvent the wheel. We may import the technology, we make the machines, we sell in Tamil Nadu first and sell in India and export from India. So that is what I look as the opportunities in Tamil Nadu for a weaving sector. Thank you very much.
I now invite Mr. M. Senthil Kumar to give his speech on value addition and growth prospects in the power loom sector.
Honorable Minister for Handlooms and Textiles, Madam, Secretary Handlooms and Textiles Harmander Singh, and Dr. A. Saktivel, President Tirupur Exporters Association, dignitaries on the dais and the audience, friends from press and media, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, on behalf of the textile industry and the powerloom fraternity, I profusely thank Honorable Chief Minister Amma Avargal, the Honorable Ministers and officials of Government of Tamil Nadu for the wonderful opportunity given to me to share some of my thoughts before this August gathering. For the next 10 minutes, we would focus on value addition and growth prospects in the powerloom sector. As rightly mentioned by CMD of LMW and President of T and Chairman Saima, Tamil Nadu has already become a world leader in textile manufacturing, and therefore it is the high time for the state to focus on value addition. Indian powerloom sector has traditionally been a cornerstone of the Indian economy in terms of foreign exchange earnings and employment. This sector is having 24.75 lakhs looms and provides jobs for 62 lakh people and accounts for 60% of the total fabric production and 95% of the woven fabric in the country. It has the capability to produce over 40 billion square meter of cloth annually. Realizing the sustainability of this important sector, both central and state governments are giving numerous incentives to achieve a sustained growth rate. Though the scheme for integrated textile park was conceived to bring the whole gamut of textile manufacturing facilities under one roof, Powerloom sector could take full advantage of the scheme, and today more than 90% of the textile parks are mostly weaving parks. I am very proud to say that our park, Palladam High Tech Weaving Park, was the first park sanctioned and implemented under the scheme under SITP scheme, and has been awarded the country's best performing park by the central government. The whole credit goes to Honorable Amma, who laid the foundation stone by graciously giving a grant of rupees 5 crore in 9th August 2005 and provided single window clearance, support all of us, and we are very much indebted to the Honorable Chief Minister for this achievement. This slide shows the various schemes offered by central government for weaving and powerloom sector. Since shuttless looms are eligible for 6% interest subsidy and 15% capital subsidy or 30% margin money subsidy, I strongly advocate all the spinners to move up the value chain and also the garment and made-ups manufacturers to go for backward integration and invest in shuttless looms weaving in Tamil Nadu. This slide shows the position of Tamil Nadu textile manufacturing activities, which you might have seen already. And this slide shows the number of textile parks in the major states of India, and Tamil Nadu is next only to Maharashtra. As far as the Tamil Nadu powerloom sector is concerned, we originate from handloom and weaving background, and therefore our entrepreneurs and employees are highly competent. Intensive electrification coupled with heavily subsidized power has boosted powerloom sector even in villages and small towns. Tamil Nadu powerloom sector has fully captured the global opportunities thrown by WTO. The optional SENVAT and exemption of VAT on fabric also boosted investment in powerloom sector. For the agricultural families, powerloom became an ideal option, particularly in Salem, Namakkal, Erode, Coimbatore district, as an alternate profession when this district faced shortage of water due to monsoon failures. Tamil Nadu has become the most advanced state in terms of infrastructure facilities, particularly roads, ports, rail, airport. And therefore, the weaving facilities could be set up in any place as the yarn is available at the doorsteps. The powerloom sector has also installed a large number of shuttless looms today and is producing finest fabric. This slide shows the details of major powerloom clusters with the percentage of looms in each cluster and type of fabrics produced. And this, you can see the capability of Tamil Nadu powerloom clusters. We have Coimbatore, Erode, Salem, Karur, Madurai, and Chennai, all making different product ranges. And this slide shows the powerloom capacity in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. And Tamil Nadu is the second largest in terms of capacity. Friends, now we look at quickly on the value addition and growth prospects in Tamil Nadu powerloom sector. As already mentioned, Tamil Nadu is the only state where the powerlooms are scattered across the state, unlike any other state, where the clusters have been developed only in few centers. Therefore, we have huge opportunities for growth and value addition. Tamil Nadu is capable of producing all types of fabrics meant for all end users and the finest fabric in the world, even up to 1,300 TC. That means within a square inch, we can accommodate 1,300 thread counts. So that is the capability of Tamil Nadu in terms of weaving, and especially the powerloom sector. Erode, the nucleus of powerloom sector and other textile manufacturing activities, has recently promoted Tex Valley with over 20 lakh square feet ultra-modern facilities to showcase and trade powerloom fabrics and other finished goods both for domestic and international market. This unique and landmark project has been made possible only with the blessings and valuable support of Honorable Amma. I appeal to all the stakeholders across the value chain to utilize this mega facility to grab the global opportunity. Tamil Nadu is the leader in home textiles, viscose and dyed yarn fabrics. Since Tamil Nadu spinning mills have become a world leader in producing high quality yarn ranging from counts 2s to 350s. So sometime back, Mr. Updik Singh was mentioning 300 counts, and I want to make a correction. It's 350 counts is made possible. We have all systems of spinning like air vortex, compact spinning, all kinds of blends, BCI yarn, organic yarn, recycled yarn. The weaving sector can source all its raw material for all types of looms and all types of materials locally. Most of the spinning mills have already obtained necessary certifications demanded by world brands and follow the sustainability norms, and therefore, if anyone is looking for large-scale investment and value addition, Tamil Nadu is the ultimate and ideal destination. Highly skilled and educated women workforce is available across Tamil Nadu, who can be employed for operating the latest technology weaving machines. A large pool of women workers who undergone training in all the major weaving clusters and today abundantly available in all southern districts. Last but not the least, I request CMD of LMW and past chairman of ITM, Indian Textile Machinery Manufacturers Association, Sri Sanjay, to grab the opportunity which Mr. Updik Singh has offered and start manufacturing the shuttleless loom in a cost-effective manner. Today we are depending only on imports. This would greatly help improving our global competitiveness. I earnestly appeal to the Honorable Chief Minister Amma Avargal to extend necessary support for the shuttleless looms manufacturing in the state. I also request the Department of Handlooms and Industries to spearhead this venture. Just to one more addition. See, recently in the textile slew of measures announced in the assembly, for cluster activities, for a group worksheet, construct a group worksheets, up to 2.5 crores is being offered. So some small weavers, 10 or 20 people can join together and they can avail this incentive recently announced from Government of Tamil Nadu, thanks to Madam Director of Handlooms and Textiles and Amma also. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
I now invite Dr. Prakash Vasudevan to deliver his speech on opportunities in technical textiles.
Honorable Minister for Textiles, Government of Tamil Nadu, Srimati Gokulandra, Thiru Harminder Singh, Principal Secretary, Handlooms and Textile Department, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, delegates, a very good afternoon to all of you. I would like to present about the opportunities which are available in technical textiles. Today, we all know that technical textiles is one of the fastest growing segments in India and also outside India. Before I start my presentation, I'll just give a small brief introduction, about technical textiles, the definition. Technical textiles are functional textiles. They are unlike apparel textiles. They are functional textiles that have applications across various industries, like automobiles, civil construction, agriculture, healthcare, industrial safety, personal protection, etc. And it is always referred to as a sunshine sector, basically because the growth prospects are very bright. This industry is expected to grow much quickly, at least at the rate of 10 to 12% year on year. And basically, the demand for the technical textiles stems from the demand from industrialization and economic development in a country. So our country is industrializing very quickly, and naturally, the growth of technical textiles is guaranteed. And if you want to look at India's technical textile industry as a whole, it is only about 12% of the total textile sector today, compared to China's, which is 20%. If you look at China's textile industry as a whole, they contribute to nearly 30% of global textile market, and 20% of that, would be many times more than Indian technical textile industry as of today. So these are the segments in technical textiles. We have agrotech, geotech, buildtech, clothtech, meditech, mobile tech, home tech, and likewise, we have 12 segments. I'll show you some pictures of what they mean. Sport tech talks about sports composites, artificial turf, ballooning fabrics, agrotech, shade nets, bird net, mulch nets, meditech, you're talking about wound care products, implantables, compression garment, all the textiles that are used in hospitals. And Protec, it's about protective garments, which are pressure suits, could be bulletproof jackets, anti-fire suits. Geotech, it's geotextiles, geogrids. In home tech, we have furniture, upholstery fabrics, mattress fabrics. In Indutech, we have bolting cloth, filters, coated membranes, abrasives, dry bulbs, etc. Packtech, we have all the packing materials that are used. Mobile tech is about airbags, upholstery fabrics, seat belts, composites, which are used. I'll touch upon the main part of my presentation now. Based on the past trend of growth, the IMAX survey recently done has pointed out that the technical textiles grew at a rate of 12% per annum. It went from 65,000 crores to almost 82,000 crores between 2012 and 2016-17. And this is the summary. The biggest of all the technical textiles is the Packtech. It has got the major share. Almost 40% of the technical textiles is in the Packtech sector, followed by Indutech. Then we have cloth tech, home tech, mobile tech, meditech. And the rate of growth also is varying between 5% to 30%. The fastest growing is the geotech at the rate of 30%, although it's very small in size as of today. And the slowest one is that of the home tech and protech. So within this each segment, I would like to show what kind of products are the major constituents. If you look at agrotech, it is the fishing nets and shade nets. They have the maximum share. And in pack tech, it is the HDPE woven sacks, which constitutes almost to 2/3 of the pack tech sector. And in build tech, it is HDB tarpaulins, canvas tarpaulins, which have the major share, hoarding and signage, of course. And sport tech, it is basically these